Hi, my name is Jocelyn Blanco, and my speech topic is My Father is My Hero. Do you ever stop and think about how our own parents were once in the same spot as us? Because I do all the time. And just thinking about the struggles they've gone through that made them the person they are today just amazes me each time because it's just like, wow, now they're actually teaching us. But I believe that every single parent and person has a unique story behind them, especially parents who immigrated to America. Those stories are worth being told. My father is the eldest of five brothers and one sister, and honestly, my grandpa immediately appointed him as the guardian of the household and basically had to take care of all his brothers and sisters. In that time, while my grandparents went and worked on the farm and just try and provide money for the household. So my dad basically learned how to be a parent at this time. He learned how to communicate with his brothers and sisters and provided food, cooked food, and also helped them with homework. So we didn't have time to be a kid. So he joined the Bolivian military and became the captain of his unit at age 18 to be able to make more money for his family and to, provide that, start a future with his path, one that he was taking. But struggle hit and his family started getting poor at the age of 19. So he had to leave his family and my mom, who was his girlfriend at the time, and he had to leave to Israel for 7 years to provide more money for them. But during this time, he had to work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. from Sunday to Friday at a fabric factory. He lived with roommates in a very small apartment, but struggles were always arising, and he had to deal with the gangs and violence that were just everywhere over there that he could still avoid. But at 25, my father did come back safe and sound to Bolivia for a month, but got married to my mom, and they traveled to the U.S., specifically Herndon, Virginia. But more struggles arrived. No one knew English. They didn't know English, and my dad had to sit at a 7-Eleven parking lot and just try and ask for a job. Try and ask for a job from people just day and night. So my mom, she was working as a babysitter and in housekeeping at the time, and she was pregnant with my brother. So it was still, it was still a struggle. That situation in itself is really difficult to deal with. So my dad had enough of that. So he ended up going to the library and bookstores. He purchased books and he studied. He put his mind to work and learned about architecture and English, especially. With that said, he eventually taught himself everything and he networked it all to his friends about the things he does and that, places he could work for. Or actually, at the end of this, he eventually started his own construction company with all this practice. So at the age of 30, he had successfully published his name into the Blue Book magazine. And he also bought our first house and we had 3 cars. And this is Interior Finishing LLC. I was born around this time, and as I grew up, I just saw my dad, educating himself constantly, and he just, even at the same time, he made sure my brother and I had a good and healthy childhood, playing sports and learning, obviously. He just had us very busy, out of trouble. He had us visiting museums and traveling across the country, and really just showing us everything the world has to offer. And to educate us on. But today he's also investing in the stock market and is flipping houses. So that's fixing up an old house and selling it to new homeowners. But today I'm 21 and I'm able to purchase a house, and I did with him, and just recently it got sold. So that was a huge accomplishment for my first time, and he was very proud of me, and I just was really proud of us at the same time. But my father's work ethic really made an impact on my life, because that's eventually what I want to get to being, a hustler with educating myself and being a good student. And I just really want to follow in his footsteps and get my degree in marketing at Mason and become a marketing producer for life, hopefully. But, that's going to take, my hard work, and I'm willing to do that. So, although my dad had many struggles that he had to deal with, including my mom, he is a hero to me. And even before I was born, just listening to his story, he was a hero to me before too. And that's why my father is my hero.